With the 116 toll-free helpline is mainly to provide telephone counselling to the nation at large. So seeing that it is accessible on a national level, at times we refer clients within the regions to respective service providers. Just to mention that we also do have the 106 GBV helpline that is mostly used by adults as well.
And you've mentioned the 106 GBV helpline is used by adults mostly. Who are the primary users of these helplines?
So with the 116, the child helpline, that's mostly used by children under the age of 18. And then adults make use of the 106 GBV helpline. But either way, even if adults phone on 116 or children phone on 106, we would still be able to assist everyone, regardless of which helpline they make use of.
And what are the most common issues or questions callers have, and what are the typical operating hours of these helplines?
So in terms of our operating time, we operate 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 in the evening. Previously, we used to be operational 24/7, but due to some challenges encountered, that is on hold for now. But the public will be notified once that change then comes back to the 24-hour helpline again. But in cases where clients might have crises during, after 8 o'clock at night, we would always encourage them to phone the police and make use of their services during that time. So mostly when we do receive cases, it has to do with behavior problems, suicide ideation, relationship issues, and then some child protection cases as well. I would just like to mention that normally from August, this is peak season for suicide ideation and suicide attempts. So we expect those cases to be on the rise as well.
Shamyn, how does the helplines ensure confidentiality and data security?
So firstly, I would just like to mention that all the employees and volunteers at Lifeline, Childline, Namibia are bound by confidentiality and they've signed for it. So if any of them break this confidentiality, because it is an ethical standard and it can lead to immediate dismissal. And pertaining the data that we collect when it comes to our clients, it's captured on our database and cases are not accessible by everyone. So only authorized personnel can access the cases. And even with our database that we use, it is protected by a firewall as well, which lessens chances of it being hacked. So we do have quite a secure system in place, I would say.
And how would you describe or how would you handle a call from a child who is seeking advice on bullying?
So in terms of that, we would first have to listen to what it is that the child has to say. And based on the information we gather, we would then put certain interventions in place. So we would also need to get the parents involved, speak to the parents, and if it's a very, very serious case, we encourage the parents to then go to the school, make contact with the school. And at times, if it's a common issue that's perhaps happening at a school, we would then also look at options such as awareness creation, on bullying. So it's sort of like a holistic approach that we would then take and to ensure that, the child is assisted and that awareness is created if need be.
Let's talk about client interaction. What techniques do you use to help a child feel more comfortable during the call?
So we would then first have to, once the child does phone in, sometimes children are not very comfortable to speak from the get-go. So, we'd have to really get down to their level, even if it means that you first have to get to know the child better, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, just so that you get them to a comfortable position that will enable them to, open up. So trust building, that phone call is very, very important when it comes to telephonic counseling, or even if we do see children on a face-to-face basis, because if there is no trust, the child is less likely to open. And also we don't really expect children to open up from the first session already, because it's all about building trust and rapport building.
Yeah. And how many sessions do you guys normally offer per child or per client?
So on average, we'd offer 5 to 6 counseling sessions. If at any point we do realize that a case is beyond our scope of work, we would then make further referrals to the appropriate stakeholders or service providers. Just worth mentioning, we also do have social workers here at the organization that deal with child protection cases. They are designated, so they also perform the same functions as the social workers from Ministry of Gender.
So just to be clear, Shamyn, you guys don't only offer calls, counseling sessions via phone calls, but also face-to-face sessions with your social workers and your counselors at the organization.
Yes, that is correct. That's now if the client is based here in Windhoek, because we only have one head office here in Windhoek. However, in terms of the rest of the regions, the clients can phone in on the two helplines, 116 or 106, and we'll provide them with the telecounseling. If there's a need for them to see someone on a face-to-face basis, since we have close working relationships with the ministries and other stakeholders within the regions, we would then refer them to go to those service providers.
And in terms of community and outreach, how do you engage with the community to promote the helpline services?
So in terms of community outreaches, we quite engage in a lot of awareness creation initiatives. It could be, setting up stalls either at the mall or any public area where we are likely to encounter a lot of people. If opportunities do come up where exhibitions are hosted, we also ensure that we do get a stall there, because awareness creation is of vital importance. Because as we speak, there are quite a lot of people out there that still do not know about our services, yet we've been in existence for 43 years. And also, people do have a misconception that Lifeline Childline only offers services to children because of Lifeline Childline. But then we actually do offer assistance to everyone, regardless of age, gender. So even adults, we do assist them as well. And our services are totally for free, so we don't charge for the counseling services.
Yeah. And just lastly, Shamyn, can you provide an example of a significant positive outcome that resulted from a call to the helpline?
Yes, we do have quite a few. So just to mention one, so through immediate interventions and collaboration with stakeholders, a client was prevented from committing suicide due to a social challenge they had encountered. So we mostly work closely with city police when it comes to suicide-related cases, and they were immediately able to respond to a specific case. And the client luckily didn't go ahead and commit suicide. They're still alive. They're receiving counseling, and that's quite significant for us because a life was saved in this process as well. So that immediate response really helped in the situation. Just a word out to the listeners: please do not prank on the lines, because the more you prank the lines, you're preventing someone else from actually getting the help that they need. So please let us not prank on the lines.